Good morning, or actually good afternoon, and today we are continuing on with that slope-intercept form. We are doing Co57. I can write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form given two ordered pairs. So we're doing the same slope-intercept form, we're just finding a new way of figuring it out. So reviewing this will help you. So we do this every time. What is the slope-intercept form? It's a Monday. Who remembers from last week? Say it out loud. Y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals mx plus b. Remember what we talked about last week. We have to make sure we have every piece of that equation. Those small details. Everything matters. So this unit is not a unit that we rush through. When we take that test, we do not want to be the first one done. We are not going to rush through it. We are going to check and double check and even triple check. Do I have the y equals? Do I have the x on there? Did I make sure to divide every term by that coefficient of the y? All those little details. Do I have a negative where it's supposed to be? So this is a very detail-oriented unit. We have to go slow and make sure we're doing every little piece correctly. So when we're looking at this, who remembers, what does the x mean in y equals mx plus b? Laurel?
The x value is every ordered pair of y.
It's the x value of every ordered pair on the line. What does the y mean, Laurel?
The y value is every ordered pair on the line.
It's the y value of every ordered pair. Oops, I forgot pair. Every ordered pair on the line. What is the m? Colton?
The slope.
The slope. Remember, the m is how that line moves across that coordinate plane. So the slope tells us how the line is moving. So the m is the slope. What is the b, Elliot?
The y-intercept.
It's the y-intercept. When we are graphing our y equals mx plus b, we start with the y-intercept. That's the beginning point. So the beginning is the y-intercept, that first ordered pair that we can graph. So to write the equation of any line in the slope-intercept form, you need two things. You need to know the slope, and you need to know the y-intercept. And remember, there's different ways that we find that slope. So if we look back to Po51, so turn back to Po51 so you see what that objective looks like. Remember, to find that y, or to find that slope, we did y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You guys remember doing that one?
Yep.
So it's from our last unit. Things that we've learned in the past come back, right? So we need to be able to use this because we are doing two ordered pairs, and this is how we find the slope from two ordered pairs. So on today's objective, on CO57, I would write this out on the top. Actually write it out so you remember how to do it. So take a moment and write y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember that x's and y's, some of us would accidentally mess up what's on the top, what's on the bottom, what we're subtracting. So remember, the top, that numerator is going to be the y's, and then the x's on the bottom. Make sure if you have y2, you start with x2. Common mistakes that people make when they're using this formula to find the slope. but we are using this formula for this objective, so we need to know how to use it. So if you make mistakes, refer back to CO50 or PO 51 to remind yourself how to use this formula. And then, so that's the first thing we do, is we find the slope, then we find that y-intercept. Sometimes, super easy with two ordered pairs to find the y-intercept. What would make it super easy, Elliot? If one of the ordered pairs you're given is the y-intercept, how would we know if our ordered pair is the y-intercept, Victoria? Because the x equals 0. So when we're given an ordered pair where the x is 0, what would our y-intercept be for that, Henry? Right here, what I circled. 5. Right? Because x is 0, we know the y-intercept is the 5. Sometimes you're given an easy ordered pair. Not every time. So we're going to figure out how to find that y-intercept when it's not given to us. So when we look down at our work down here, we're given two ordered pairs. There's no x equals 0. Whew, so we have to do some more math. This is all math that we have done in the past. We're just combining it all into today's objective. So it's really not new. It's just taking previous objectives and putting it in together for today's objective. And then paying careful attention to those small little details. That is the hardest part about this unit for friends, is those small little details. So let's see how this is going to work. We're going to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. That passes through the given points. Show your work. Okay. So we're going to remember our final answer needs to be in that y equals mx plus b form. All parts matter. We're going to remember that to find the slope, we're going to use that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and then I'm going to show you how we find the y-intercept when it's not given to us. These first three that we're going to practice with have the y-intercept given to us. So we're going to work on how we do this given that y-intercept. So let's look at this first one. We need to find our slope. So our first step is finding the slope, the m. How would I set up my equation to find the slope? Bo.
5 minus 4 is 0 minus 6.
So I take, this is my 1s, this is my 2s. I take y2 minus y1, 5 minus 4, over x2 minus x1. So 5 minus 4 over 0 minus 6, what does that give me for my slope? Elliot? Negative 1/6. Now, look at how I just wrote that. Is it clear that it's negative 1/6? That negative sign and the fraction bar are super close. When I'm grading a test and somebody writes that, I might mark it wrong because it looks like a positive 1/6. That negative sign kind of gets lost in there. So what I need you to do is to be very specific when you write it. See how that negative sign is really clear? I see that negative sign easily. It's not almost connected to that fraction bar. You need to be very, very clear with your negative signs. Okay? I don't want to be staring at it going, ooh, is that connected or is that a negative? It needs to be clear. If it's not clear, I'll mark it wrong. Okay? So, what is our B for this one? Joe? Yeah, we talked about that. x is 0, then we know that the y is our y-intercept. Okay. So now I know my slope and I know my y-intercept. I can write it in slope-intercept forms. What would that look like? If I know my m and I know my v, how do I put it into slope-intercept form? Finley.
Y equals negative 1/6 x plus 5.
This is my final answer. Y equals negative 1/6 x, don't forget the x, super easy to do, plus 5. Don't forget it has to be y equals. You can't just put negative 1/6 x plus 5. You have to have y equals. All the parts are important. Let's look at our next one. What's my first step going to be? Ellen.
2 minus -1 over 5 minus 0.
Yeah, remember I need to find my slope. 2 minus negative 1 over 5 minus 0. If I have minus a negative, what math do I do? If I subtract a negative, Gavin?
Opposite of face, you add the 1 to the 2.
So I turn that minus into an adding and I turn my negative into a positive. So it is opposite, but it's not opposite operation. You're super close. You caught yourself. So minus a negative turns into adding a positive. So what is my slope? Colton.
3 over 5.
2 plus 1. 2 minus a negative 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 5 minus 0 is 5. What do I always have to check when I have my slope? What important thing was my final step? What do I have to check, Colton?
Simplify.
Can I simplify it? Can I simplify this one?
No.
You will have some slopes that you have to simplify. Henry asked last week, well, if we didn't simplify it, is it going to be wrong? Remember, that will be wrong if you don't simplify. So you have to check, can I simplify? What is my y-intercept? Bo?
-1.
Negative 1, because my ordered pair, I have an x for, a 0 for the x, so I know my y is that y-intercept. Because I told you, these first three are easy peasy. We're focusing on finding that slope and putting it into the y-intercept form, slope-intercept form. So what is my answer? Ellen?
Oh, like the equation?
Yeah.
Y equals 3/5 x minus 1.
Y equals 3/5 x minus 1, because if it's a negative, that means we're subtracting it. Let's look at our next one. Who can tell me the equation? AJ, you're working hard over there. Can you tell me what the slope equation would be?
6 minus 10 over negative 0.
So what does that equal? 6 minus 10 over negative 18 minus 0. AJ?
Negative 4 over negative 2. That's a positive.
What was that, Colton?
Which makes it a positive.
Negative over negative makes my answer positive. So would I write, so I would have positive 418. Is that my slope?
No.
Joe?
No.
What do I have to do?
Simplify.
How do I simplify it?
Divide by 2.
I can divide a 2 out of both. So what does that give me, Joe?
2 minus.
A positive 2/9. So negative 4 over negative 18 gives me that positive slope of 2/9. What is my y-intercept? Emily,
10.
how did you know the y-intercept is 10, Emily?
Because ordered pairs is 0, 10.
One of our ordered pairs has x equals 0. So I know the y will be my y-intercept. So what is my answer? Laurel?
Y equals 2 nines x plus 10.
Y equals 2 nines times x plus 10. So all those little details. I need to remember negative over a negative turns into a positive. I need to remember to simplify. I need to remember that if I'm given a 0 for my x, then I'm given that y-intercept. Okay. Remember here when my y-intercept was negative, that means minus. All these little pieces, remembering it's y equals. Don't forget to put the x in there. How are we feeling about finding the slope? Show me your thoughts. Okay, we've done this before. We're just putting it into this new objective and putting it into the y-intercept form. Now, we're gonna look at what we do when we're not given the y-intercept. So let's look at this first one. We still are doing y equals mx plus b. Oops. Is our final answer. We know to find the slope, we do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now we need to see what do we do when we're not given the y-intercept. More work we have to do. But it's not hard. It's just more steps to follow. So we're going to start off the same way. Our first step is always finding the slope. So how do I find the slope for these first two ordered pairs? Holland.
8 minus 4 over 9 minus 7.
8 minus 4 over 9 minus 7. What does that give me, Holland? 4 over 2. Is that my final slope?
No.
What should my final slope be? What does that equal?
2 over 1.
And I don't have to put 2 over 1. I can just call that 2. If you put 2 over 1, am I going to mark it wrong? No. But I'm showing us what the proper math is going to look like. So now, I need to find my y-intercept. Does anybody have a guess as to how I would find the b using the information I have up above? What's your guess, Elliot?
If you divided them into
Not quite. Henry?
Maybe keep adding or subtracting the slope to one of the ordered pairs.
Oh, I am given an x and a y. I know my m. I can fill in what I know into my equation and solve for the b, to solve for that y-intercept. So I'm just going to use my first ordered pair. It doesn't matter which one we use. Both ordered pairs will give us the same b because they're on the same line. So if I'm using this first ordered pair, what would my equation look like if I'm filling in what I know? Henry?
4 equals 2 times 7 plus b.
So notice what Henry did. He put the y from our ordered pair in for the y in our equation. He put our slope in for the m. He put the x from the ordered pair in for the x. And then we're solving for b, because that's what we don't know. Now we're going to do the math that we know how to do because we've done this all the time. So let's look at our steps. 4 equals 2 times 7. What's 2 times 7, Colton?
14.
14 plus b. Oh, how do I solve for just b now? What am I going to use? Colton?
Opposite operations.
Opposite operations, I want B by itself. So that means I have to move 14 to the other side. So when I'm moving to the opposite side of the equal sign, I do opposite operations. This is a positive 14, so I need to subtract 14 from both sides. 14 minus 14 cancels out, so I'm left with just B. What is 4 minus 14? Elliot?
10.
Nope. What is 4 minus 14, Victoria? Say it louder. Negative 10. All those little details matter. Negative signs matter. So, now I know my B and I know my M. Can I put it into the slope-intercept form? What would that look like? You want to give it a try, Ellen?
Y equals 2x minus 10.
So I'm back to using my y and my x. I know my slope is a positive 2. I know my b is a negative 10. So that means it's minus 10. How do we feel about finding our y-intercept? Show me your thumbs. And be honest, are you one of my shakies? Are you like, oh, that makes sense? Okay, we're seeing like we're pretty confident in this. I want us to have work time so you can come up and check your answers, come up and ask for help. Okay, we've got 5 work problems to do. You need to do, first step is to find your M. Second step is to find the B. Last step is to put it together into the slope-intercept form. Spoiler, these ones you all have to do the math to find that y-intercept. The top ones were the easy ones, where we were given the y-intercept. You will notice there is no x equals 0. Don't be confused because you see a 0 here. Our y-intercept is not 3, because 3 is not for the y. Make sure you only do that if x equals 0. Don't be confused and thrown off when y equals 0. All of these ones you have to do the math to find the b. Notice how the directions have been saying, show your work. This is not mental math. Show your work on how you found the slope. Show your work on how you found your y-intercept. Then put it together into the slope-intercept form. Do we have any questions? I should not see anybody done in the next 2 minutes. This is a lot of detail-oriented work. Take your time. It's okay if you have a couple for homework tonight. I would rather we take our time now and make sure we're doing it correctly. So on the test that's coming up, practice test is on Friday. On this test coming up, we get them done correctly. Take your time, show your work, pay attention to all those details. So when I'm working up on the board and you're not working on the paper, it's not going to help you much. I will walk us through what to do so the rest of them will come easier. I don't want to see us staring up an eraser instead of doing our work. Okay? If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.